Infernal greetings, infernal blessings to all. Welcome to another discussion on a left hand path. Today, I will be discussing the left hand path and the cycles of time. When we look at the left hand path and our journey through the left hand path, sometimes it helps to understand the cycles of time, the cycles of nature as it pertains to us, the practitioners of the left hand path, the black adepts of the left hand path. It is very important to realize these things so that we have a greater understanding of what exactly is taking place through our journey. What do I mean? Well, in life, in nature, in our physical life, we are born. We are born into this physical realm, and then begins growth. We grow in this physical realm. Physically, we grow. Mentally, we grow. Spiritually, we grow, or hopefully, we grow spiritually. And this journey begins and continues throughout our life. But on the left hand path, you also are born when you first come into the left hand path. The problem with some individuals is that they refuse to let go everything they learned before coming into the left hand path. So they struggle in the left hand path because they're perceiving things from the old paradigm they were just in. The right hand path, usually, or this mainstream occult, new age occultism, fluffy occultism, whatever the case may be. And they come in here thinking that they have some type of knowledge that they can utilize in a left-hand path. And this is where the mistake begins. The left-hand path is the adversarial path, meaning it's adverse to everything you were taught, everything you think you know, everything you learned. It's adverse to that. That's the first thing to understand when you begin your journey, when you're born into the left-hand path. Then you continue to grow in the left-hand path. So thus you find different paths that are utilized within the left-hand path, different archetypes, dark gods, deities, demons, so on and so forth, that pertain to you as an individual, pertain to you on your journey, pertain to you in your work. That is when the growth truly takes place in our life. But this is the next cycle of time, is when many can't stay on the left-hand path. So remember, we have birth, then growth. Now comes the part that many struggle with on the left-hand path, and that's decline. You begin to decline. Death, destruction, chaos, turmoil, trauma, issues, all seem to hit you at once. And why that's happening is because everything that was you must no longer exist. Everything that was you must cease to exist. So the decline phase of time is when many leave the left-hand path, but that is the most essential time that you should stay and hold tight on the left-hand path. In Islam, they used to teach Sirat al-Mustaqim, the straight and narrow path. The path is narrow, and many fall off the path. Well, it's similar to the things that happen to many on the left-hand path. It's a narrow path. meaning it's a focused path on your continued transformation. However, when the chaos begins, the decline, you're in the decline phase. When the chaos begins, it seems like I'm doing something wrong. I might have done that ritual wrong. I feel bad. I feel guilty. I feel all kinds of things. This is what's happening to many, and this is why they seem to escape or leave the left hand path. Or they encounter a mentor, a teacher, and they find connection with that mentor teacher, and then that mentor teacher rips them apart and opens them up to things that they refuse to face about themselves. One, they really are not about the left hand path, or two, they're just scary and still stuck in morality, still stuck in the old traditional ways, and that's not the left hand path. The left hand path is an adverse path. It is everything against what you think you know. I don't care how wild you think you are. I don't care how crazy you think you are, how open-minded you think you are. All those things are challenged on the left-hand path, because there's always a point people meet themselves where they realize that's where the resistance is at. As open-minded as I think I am, I still have resistance to this thing, this concept, this belief, this idea, this morality, whatever the case may be, that I hold on to and don't want to pass through. So I continue to stay in the decline phase longer than you necessarily should. You're declining, you're dying. The old self is dying, but we want to hold on to the old self because we refuse to let go of the old self, because the old self is the programmed self that has become comfortable to us. It has become what is the default application in our life. So what happens is you're afraid to let go of your comfortability, of your habitual patterns. You're afraid to let go of all these things in your life because you are afraid to truly transform. So you still want to hold on to certain parts of yourself that really don't serve you, but you think it does because the programming is there. 95% of your programming is observed. This is the part that people don't want to really accept. But much of what you do in your default mechanism, your habitual patterns, things of that nature, is because you observed it. You observed your mama, your papa. You observed your uncle, your auntie, someone. You observed them. And you repetitively observed them carrying out their habitual patterns. And then you grew up from that programming, which seeped into your subconscious mind, created a program of itself, your programming, and you think that's the way you're supposed to interact, you're supposed to react, you're supposed to behave or do certain things in this way, because we refuse to question things about ourselves. See, it's easy on the left-hand path to attack Christianity, Islam, Judaism. That is one of the first and most important things that people have to understand. We want to attack those things because we're angry, we're upset, and we were totally controlled by this religious system. But what we don't do a lot is question ourselves and how we're still programmed and controlled by society, by your parents, by the educational system, by racism, by discrimination, by segregation, all these things we refuse to face about ourselves. If you're a racist on a left-hand path and you're still a racist, you're not really growing. You're still holding on to old programming and refuse to attack yourself and refuse to go deep into your subconscious programming to change yourself. This is why the decline phase is the most vital and important time within your left-hand path journey. When all old self dies, Then and only then will your next phase or cycle of time begin, which is the rebirth or renewal. You are then renewed or reborn again. You have to undergo and take a serious journey of facing yourself, questioning yourself, asking yourself, dealing with yourself. And the decline phase is pivotal. And unfortunately, many fail during this time. Many run during this time. Many leave during this time. Not because the teacher, not because the rituals, not because it's because of yourself. If you're still with the same man who you're unhappy with, who verbally or mentally or even physically abuses you, that's your fault. And you deserve everything you get because you can change it. You refuse to. Financial reasons, you refuse to change it. Psychological trauma doesn't let you get past it. So you accept it because you accept and have associated abuse with love. And this process continues throughout time. But if you are able to hold tight, stay strong, and work through the decline phase, the death phase, then everything after that begins new. Everything is new to you again. Everything is given to you new again. You open the doorway for abundance and prosperity into your life. You open the doorway for new creative thoughts, new creative ideas and realities. But you have to be able to face that part of yourself. You have to. I created the shadow work class again on the Temple of Black Serpent page. One Patreon member we have, good. That one member will go in deep into shadow work. My shadow work is not like others. I'm not compassionate. I'm not. I'm compassionate for those that deserve it, and that's about it. Therefore, hold tight. Deal with all of your trauma. And the shadow work class that I recreated is going to do specifically that. I'm not a compassionate person, as I was saying. Compassion for those who are worthy of it, yes, that's see, this is my way to do things. Not the moral way that society has teachers, religion, so on. This is my way. Accept it, love it, or leave it. Not my problem. This is how I do it. Because what I realize is compassion sometimes is used to cushion your fall and baby you and soften you up. That doesn't do you justice. You need to sometimes be ripped and just ripped, sliced, and cut in half. Like Kali would slice your head for your arrogant, egotistical mindset. And that is the main thing that I think people fail to realize. Stop looking for people to validate you to co-sign for you or co-sign with you, to justify or enable your bad habits, your arrogant mindset, your egotistical bullcrap, so on and so forth. In fact, your true friends are the ones who tell you like it is, cutthroat, blood raw, whether you like it or not. That's your true friends. Your true friends are not the fools that try to, enable you to do stupid things and continue in the stupid habitual patterns and stupid behavior. But unfortunately, people don't do that. So in the shadow work class, I make you face yourself over and over and over. You're going to need a journal to journal all the things that you find out are your weaknesses, your programming, your trauma. This is what you need. And this is what you have to confront. People don't realize you can't skip over shadow work. Left-hand path, almost every path on the left-hand path, every tradition, every magical system makes you face yourself and makes you confront your weaknesses. It makes you confront your programming, makes you question yourself, because the most important thing you can question is yourself. Why do I do this? Why do I believe this? Why do I accept this? Why? You'll start to grow when you start to do that. You also begin the decline phase when you do that. So you have to be prepared and ready for chaos, for complete and utter chaos in your life, because that is what is necessary for your destruction or decline or death to then be renewed or reborn again, your rebirth. We have to really take accountability for our BS. We have to really look at ourselves and realize, man, I need to wake up. I need to stop justifying my behavior, why I come into a class and run from a class, why I meet a person and run from a person, why I do this, all that, etc. Because you're the one who opened the door to bring that into your life. Then it comes into your life and you run from the very thing you brought into your life. Makes no sense, but people do this quite often. You open the gateway for the person that's currently in your life, for the man, woman, whatever you are attracted to in your life. You open the door for them there. So go through the process and learn what you're supposed to with the interaction of the person you brought into your life. You're supposed to learn from them, but many people run from them because they're cowards and weak. And one thing I cannot stand is weak individuals. I don't make excuses. I don't apologize. And I don't forgive. And this is what people don't understand. If you tell me, well, you should forgive others and then forgive yourself, listen, or forgive yourself and forgive others. Listen, I'm not on the right-hand path. I'm not in Fluffyville. I'm not in super spiritual, super spooky ass concepts. I don't forgive. And I'm going to tell you why I don't forgive. You do the behavior one time, you most likely going to repeat it again. Even if you ask for forgiveness and someone grants you forgiveness, you're probably going to do the same behavior again because you felt you got away with it. Somewhere in your subconscious mind, you realize, I just created a new groove in my subconscious mind that I can possibly get away with this person or another person. So I'll repeat the behavior again to see how far I can go. I'm not going to forgive something because what I learned a long time ago is that you were doing your best thinking when you made the so-called mistake or action that led to you asking for forgiveness. You were doing your best thinking. According to psychologists, when you commit an act, you are doing your best thinking at that time because you were totally focused on what you were about to do. So why should I forgive you? You already had this. You premeditated your whole action, the whole process. You premeditated it. I'm not going to forgive you for something you premeditated, carried out, and then knowingly did it, enjoyed the whole process. I mean, your legs was up. I mean, you was just, legs was wrapped around him or vice versa. You guys were just banging it out. Then you want to feel guilty? Please cut it out, man. This is the ignorance that pervades and persists in mankind. Perseveres in mankind, I should say, and continues to be propelled and pushed forward by this ignorant thinking. And compassion is not going to help you. You need someone that's stern, disciplined, and strict to push you past your own BS, because sometimes you can't do it for yourself because you think you're weak. And my whole goal is to make you realize you're not weak. You think you're weak, so therefore you are weak because of your thinking process. The whole purpose of shadow work is to rewire your programming so you put in the programming that best suits you. And to do that, you first have to realize you are programmed. You first have to realize your weaknesses, your patterns, your behaviors, your issues, your so-called traumas and things like that. You have to realize these things in order to change it. And me sitting there trying to be compassionate about it and tapping you and hugging you about it and saying, oh, you're going to be okay is BS. You're not. You're not going to be okay, because compassion only and it continues to enable you to do the same thing, making you holding you accountable for your actions. Holding you accountable for the programming you refuse to change is what's going to push you forward. So my shadow work class is not like other people's shadow work class. Yes, we start in the childhood traumas, but we're going to go past the childhood traumas and deal with your adult traumas, because some of us don't realize that you might have had a great childhood, so you never developed traumas, but adulthood, you had traumas that occurred and you have not been able to get past that, because it's in your adult years. Sometimes it's even harder to get past things when it happens in your adult years. It's more traumatic, more shocking to the soul. So this is why understanding the cycles of time helps you understand where you are in the left-hand path and helps you understand that you should maintain discipline and persistence and consistency when you're in the decline phase and the death phase, so you can be reborn and renewed again. That is where we are losing out on a lot when we don't stay strong when we're in the decline phase or the death phase. This is where we become very weak and tend to run. And it happens. I've seen it. I've been teaching class for years now, and I've seen people come and go because they leave right when it gets tough. Oh, trust me, I've heard every excuse from finances to I stubbed my toe. Please. Listen, I'm a 52-year-old man. My birthday was recently. I'm a 52-year-old man. I work out 6 times a week. I physically go to the gym 6 times a week. I have a trainer who pushes me beyond what even I think my limits are, so I can get my health to an optimal level for my age. And I make no excuses about it. Oh, trust me, there's days I don't want to get up. There's days I don't want to go to the gym. There's days I'm sore, extremely sore, even after stretching, and I just don't have the motivation. But somewhere deep inside me, that black flame, that creative spark, the creative energy says, nah, Ravana, you gotta go. It's for your health. Nothing else is important as much as your health. Without your health, we cease to exist. So let's wake up to that reality that you have the power inside you to continue to persist. You have the power inside you to be consistent. You have the power inside you to be greater than what you even let yourself be. But you have to want it. You have to dig deep inside you, and then you have to want it. You have to really want it, and it has to come from a deep part of yourself, and that's where the black flame comes in. That spark of life, that spark of creation and transformation that's within the darkness. And don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. We are the brotherhood and sisterhood of darkness, not the fake brotherhood and sisterhood of darkness that people want to push and point at and say, oh, the Illuminati is the brotherhood of darkness. Really? In their very own words, the title they've used for their brotherhood and sisterhood, the Illuminati, which means the illuminated ones, is light. It deals with light. It has nothing to do with darkness. True darkness cannot be comprehended by the brotherhood of light. They've flipped it on you to make you worship light. All the while, their own God and their own Bible and scriptures created all life while still in darkness. And God never left darkness, according to your own scriptures. Wake up and realize, as the brotherhood of darkness, as the sisterhood of darkness, that black flame, that dark flame is our creative essence. And it is what we create from and what takes us to another level. But we have to wake up past these limitations we put on ourselves. This meat suit can be an escape from responsibility and accountability. We use injuries as an excuse. Oh, my knee hurts, so I don't want to go walking today. Shit, my knee hurts a lot. My back hurts a lot. I'm still gonna bust it out. I'm still gonna go to the gym. Oh, I wanna be a glutton, so I wanna just stuff the hell out of my face. You could be a glutton all you want if you understand why and how it can transform you, but you gotta always have control within the moments of gluttony. Yeah, you'll figure that out. I'll go into that another day. But people, understand the cycles of time on this left-hand path as is pertains to you, and you will succeed. You will go further. All right. Infernal blessings to all. I will see y'all tomorrow. I will be with my brother, brother Nappy. We'll be doing a live together, and Thursday I'll be doing a live with Maniac Mitchell here on YouTube Live at 8 p.m. Hope to see y'all there. All right, infernal blessings.